Viewers and subscribers, it's a coach's desk with Kevin and Minzy. And we have in studio here Romaine Burke. And we'll be talking some football. Romaine, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Doing
man.
good.
Good to
Nice to
have
see you
you
again,
here on
mate.
the coach's desk. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to jump into it because viewers and subscribers, Romaine is a very busy person. And just to inform you, we're going to be coming on back later to discuss some more football. All right, Romaine, why football and not another sport?
It's always, you grew up in Jamaica. So, when you grow up in Jamaica, there's only two things affordable to you: football and track and field. Luckily, it was both for me. But I started playing when I was a kid, when I was with my uncle, because my father never really played, but my uncle used to bring us to the field every day. And looking up to those guys playing, it was always a means to an end, Playing the game was a way to get out all of the different problems that you have at home and at school, So football was always that getaway
Yeah.
for me from day one, and it just always been that.
Great. So tell us now, tell us some of the levels that you'd have played football.
So starting from Colts, Manning Cup, play for GC, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Played under 21 for Medhaven when I was back in Jamaica. Played for Constant Spring under 21. Got called up once for the under 20 with the national team. Didn't go far selection. This was before GC.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was it. And then collegiate, of course, with GC. Come over here, was supposed to play D1 for the school that I was here with, but that got cancelled as soon as we got here. So the track scholarship was one that kept me in school over here. Typically it was supposed to be a half track, half football thing, but the football team got scrapped immediately after, like maybe about a month after we got the scholarship. So that was it. So I think GC was the highest level.
Okay, and I want you to tell the people which high school you rep. You mentioned Colts.
St. Catherine, not St. Catherine High. We used to go to school in St. Catherine, St. Mary's College.
Yeah.
Play Colts for them at St. Mary's College, and then we got Oberlin High. Now, the Oberlin project, Oberlin was a project, basically. This was the first time the school going in a Manning Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in sixth form, and we decided to start the project. We have a PE teacher being our coach. Just a group of my friends decided, listen, we are going to play Manning Cup because, we wanted to be a part of that. And we were the first team to actually play out of Oberlin High. And I don't know if you remember back when they had that high school singing competition.
Yeah.
Oberlin was the school I was winning it every year.
Yeah, man.
When it just started off. Yeah, altogether sing, yeah. And so we decided we wanted to make something historic out of the school. So we decided to do everything we can to join. And I was the captain of the teams. We were getting our butts whooped every game. We had Calabar, JC, Bridgeport, and another team in our zone. And Calabar and them would have beat you up so bad. I can say though, not many people can say this. I have a hat trick in a Manning Cup. The one game we win like 6-2. I'm scored 4 goals in that game there. Yeah, so we can say that proudly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically a project, to be honest. The very first team coming out of Oberlin High. If you look up the results from 2000, when we got GC, we got GC 2007. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the year 2006 to 2007.
I think that's the year Bridgeport won.
Yeah. We're going out. That was actually the game that brought me to Meadowbrook, because the coach for Calabar at the time was also the coach for the national under 20 team, and I'm coaching club team as well. Waga was his name. I don't know if you remember that guy, Waga. A gray-haired white man was just everything about football. And when we go Calabar, and play a caliber and nasty it up over there, the man and say, all right, you have to come play for the side.
Yeah. So even though
Yeah, so that was it.
the team did not go that far, individually something came out of it for you.
Yeah, a lot came out of it, honestly. I grew a lot out of that competition because I got a lot of recognition. I got to play for different teams. That was the phase that got me, as I said, the recognition from Waga.
Mm-hmm.
That was what brought me to GC, actually, which literally made me where I am right today, because had that not been for the exposure that I got, the people that I had to speak to during that time. Even when we went down to JC and we lose 9-0 at JC, I walk off the field and I'm nothing but, people walk up to me and say, yeah, you don't need to play for that side, stuff like that, And it was one of those things where, it give you that sense of pride. Say, yeah, I'll give him where I play from me. I'll pick me to this, get like recognition. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, because that is a teachable moment in a Romaine, because when you look at it, persons would say that you're in a team that is no good. Nevertheless, individually you put in the work, you showcase a talent, and the big things came out of it. So that can go as a teachable moment for someone out there who's watching this event, this program, and say that they're not in a good enough team. But if you work hard, then definitely someone out there will see the talent, and the rest can be history. Now, Romaine, you mentioned about being drafted into the under-20 program. I know you as a very skillful footballer. You have some very good touches. But can you tell us why didn't that call up move on to further you into the national program?
Over time, I've been troubled with this very question over a long period of time, because it's always been, was I good enough? Was I not good enough? And the immediate reaction was to say, hey, maybe it was politics that didn't get me there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I used to always say, hey, they called me in and they already had the people that they wanted to choose. That was my initial excuse. But that, in essence, now that I think about it, was an excuse, because it wasn't that the guys that were there were exponentially better than me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, and this could definitely be another life lesson, I was starstruck at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. So the effort,
in terms of, I didn't
put in,
the effort wasn't, no, because I thought that I made it. And it happened to so many of us, and so many other occasions where we've been looking forward to something so much,
mm-hmm.
and when you finally get the opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that this is it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the opportunity to make the best of what you wanted, and I didn't, because I thought that I made it. Again, when you look back in my community and where I was coming from, just the fact that I got the call up was so huge, and it just went straight to me,
mm-hmm.
and never really apply myself in the sense that I need to get this. I need to get to the point where I am in the national team, playing on a regular basis. I'm setting myself, in the light where we can actually step forward and make a career out of football, and that's where I lost it.
Yeah, and like you said, it's another teachable moment for youths out there. When you get the call up, invitation to any of these teams, the work doesn't stop there. That's the time hard work begins. As Jamaican would use some old folks, you cut a just turn, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Another teachable moment. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations, and I'm sure that if another opportunity come begging or knocking in your life, it might not have to be sport, but because of that situation, you'd have learned from it, and you never make that mistake again.
Exactly.
All right, I heard you mention your uncle, but I'm not sure if he's your biggest influence in football. Can you tell us who's your biggest influence?
Locally, Walter Boyd,
mm-hmm.
without a doubt. I used to try to mirror myself off of Walter Boyd play, and growing up, I used to look just like him when I grew up too.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to mirror myself off of Walter Boyd. But overall, my overall influence in terms of international football was Zidane. Used to watch him in the Juventus after I moved from Juventus to Real Madrid, and these were all every opportunity that I had to watch him.
Yes.
Every time TVJ or CVM would bring on highlights of the games, we have to watch it, regardless. Zidane was definitely, and especially when I started taking football serious, Zidane was the one that made football to me.
All right. You made mention, Romaine, that you got a football scholarship, or a part football scholarship, as well as a part track and field scholarship. You mentioned that it didn't materialize where football was concerned because they canceled the program. But what really transpired throughout that period and after university where football is concerned? Did you actually went on to continue football, or you just gave up on the sport? Talk to us about that.
So, as far as your football is concerned, I had a couple of opportunities immediately after college. Like, during the time frame when I was in college, we couldn't play as much because of the track scholarship, because it now became a full track scholarship, right? So we were playing intramural games. We were playing in and around the community. Yeah. Luckily, our community here in Baltimore has a wide variety of footballing opportunities for different teams in and around the community. So we were playing there. I had the opportunity immediately after college to make a decision where I wanted to. Either I could go try out for DC United, which in terms of how close it is to us, it's like 40 minutes up the street. Or I could do my master's degree. So I had to make a decision. And being, in America by yourself without any family structure, taking a risk and to go try out for DC United, or doing your master's as choosing a different career path. It was an easy decision for me because I put myself now in a position where I could either follow the dream or make the dream. Right. And that was my decision. I had to make that decision, and I did. Do I regret it? No. I still, in terms of following the football dream, still can't drop it regardless. So they have this league over here called Maryland Majors, where I play in the Maryland Majors to this day. There are a couple other intramural leagues that we play. Maryland Majors, a bunch of like semi-pro farmers, athletes, who wants to play. And so that's what I've been doing. Thinking about getting the coaching badges, but hasn't done that yet. So see how far it goes.
So another brilliant point there, another star in your journey, where you had to make a decision, and one would say that it would have been a stupid decision not to go out and trial. But one thing we normally tell the youngsters is that in sports, it is very good when you're talented, but in sports, injuries may come. So if you have opportunity to pursue your higher education, then that was a no-brainer. And I'm happy that you made that decision. Not only happy that you made the decision, but you have no regrets in making that decision. So kudos to you again, Romaine.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that you still play the game, so you're still enjoying what you had wanted to do. Might wanted to do it on a professional level, but you're still playing the game, and you're still on your career path. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, can you tell us or some youngsters out there some of the life lessons that you'd have learned from playing football?
All right. If just people say it all the time, and then we take it for granted. But one of the biggest things is the camaraderie and the camaraderie you learn from playing the game, being around people, learning from each other, leaning on each other. One of the biggest things about football about sports in general, is that you rely on others to do well. So we made mention of the team that I was playing on in high school and being the standout performer. However, I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have people around me. If I didn't have someone encouraging me, if I didn't have someone passing me the ball or helping me to, tackle when I missed that first tackle. You know what I mean? So it's all about building a camaraderie and having a relationship with people, being able to relate to people. And they talk a lot about dressing rooms, but it's essential to your growth, your personality as
So
a youngster.
it would have developed your interpersonal skills.
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And then taught me resiliency. My experience at GC Foster, playing for GC Foster, taught me resiliency. There were times where I thought that I was better than the players that were actually playing, but I was still on the bench. There were times that I was started on the bench, go on, score, next game, still on the bench, but never gave up. Still get encouragement from people like you, from Ejag, saying, don't stop, still going. And I built my resiliency to the point where I was able to come to the United States by myself with nothing but a few friends and still overcome all the odds just to make sure you can make it and make a life for your family,
Wonderful story there, Romaine. Finally, what would you tell some youngsters out there who would want to pursue football as a career?
Learning from speaking from experience, the best thing that you can do is to keep your head down, and work hard. Use negativity as a motivation to work even harder. And never feel like you have made it until you've retired. If you look at if you look at the world right now, and I know a lot of people idolize Cristiano Ronaldo for all he's achieved, but the biggest thing about Cristiano Ronaldo is that he's always hungry. So I would say stay hungry. Cristiano Ronaldo is never ever saying this is it, I don't want anymore. He's the real definition of a workhorse athlete who was used the talent that God gave him and the determination that he has from within to become one of the best in the world. So if you want to be the best in the world, your talent alone won't get you there. You have to work hard, and work even harder. That's basically it.
Well said, Romaine. And I'm sure some youngsters out there would take these life lessons to the T, and they will use it as a part of their journey in pursuing their, whether it is track and field, football career. So definitely, we thank you very much for being here on Coach's Desk. And like we said, we're going to link up later and we're going to talk some more football because we have serious matters to discuss. Everybody see the badge.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Everybody see the badge they need to know. Exactly.
So after we watch the game later, we're going to just jump in and we're going to discuss some more football later on. Thank you very much for joining us, giving us a little of your time on the Coach's Desk. And
Manners, blessings.
Big up yourself, my friend. Thank you very much.
Bless up.